Cricket is my passion and I cannot avoid it.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening, namaskar to one and all. Well, the first test match was a cliffhanger. It could have gone either ways. Probably India had slight edge going into the last day, but rain had its final say. We have the legend. Welcome to the show, Wasim Bhai.
Very nice to be here again.
So, Wasim Bhai, fifth day, India required probably 150 runs to win, 9 wickets in hand. You felt India had the edge?
I think so. I think India had 95% of the chance of winning that test match. I think India were robbed of a win, but that is part and parcel of the game. You can't really complain about it. This is what you get in England. This is the beauty of playing in England. But I think India played, apart from that little hiccup in the first inning where they lost the first 3, 4 wickets really quickly. The openers got out, and then Virat and Pujara and Ajinkya got out in really quick succession. But other than that, I thought India dominated that test match. Uh, KL Rahul, good to see him score runs. Like we were saying last time, he's a quality player, and that is what you get from a quality player. India got a solid opening stand. Rohit and him, Rohit again failed uh, on the 30 odd, which is very unusual for him to get out 3 times now in a row to get out in the 30s, which is very unusual. But Ravindra Jadeja, we were talking about whether he'll play or not. We thought Ashwin, is the number one spinner, but Ashwin was dropped and Jadeja was picked, and he rightly scored the important runs. The Indian tail wagged, which doesn't happen very often. Uh, so all in all, I thought, and Bumrah was outstanding. All our bowlers contributed. Bumrah was outstanding in that bowling attack, and I think India looked set to take the first test match, first 1-0 lead in the first test match, but it was unfortunate.
All right. So now let me ask you the first big question. Obviously, we spoke about what happened in the match. You feel had Ashwin been playing this test match, India could have wrapped up England's innings better in the second innings?
Uh, I don't know. I think in the second inning he would have made a difference. You can't say much because in the first inning the fast bowlers did the damage. By the tea time, India bowled out England. But probably in the second inning, Ashwin's guile and spin probably would have helped. But looking at the broader picture, I think Jadeja contributed a lot. I think Indian team trust his batting more. And when they are playing four seamers, you need a spinner to keep one end tight and give the bowlers a rest. So I think that is what they are looking from Jadeja. And when Jadeja is playing, you're not going to get a lot of runs. You're going to get 10, 15 overs of really solid left arm spin. Even if it doesn't pick, he's bound to pick 1 or 2 wickets. But if there's nothing happening, one end is tight and the other fast bowlers are going to operate in in shorter spells. So that is, I think, what Jadeja's role in this team. That is the reason why, and I feel there are a lot of right-handers. There's not many left-handers. That is the reason why he's been picked, I feel.
So going into Lords, you don't see Ashwin playing, right?
I mean, again, it all depends on the conditions. If the conditions is overcast and the wickets a little bit of green, then I
Five
don't see
sunny
much.
days. 5 sunny days as of now.
Uh, if that is the case, then I'll be tempted to play Ashwin. Ashwin, I would have picked Ashwin anyway because how many batters you need? I mean, you got six batters, and then Ashwin can contribute. Then you got Shardul. Uh, but if it's 5 sunny days and the wickets a little bit brown, and generally Lords are a good batting deck. So if that's the case, then I would probably drop one of the fast bowler and pick Ashwin. That will be the way forward.
Now, may I ask you this question? Like you said that you might be tempted to pick Ashwin if it's a sunny day, and you see the likes of Pujara and Rahane not scoring. So if you're going to get the same sort of run, so why would you take a chance of dropping one of the key batsmen and playing an extra bowler and with the three seamers?
No, I
or is
don't
it
think
too
so.
much of a risk?
I don't see much changes in the top six uh, at least for this test match. India looks set to win this test match, or in hindsight, if I can talk. But I don't see much changes in the batting department because you got such solid, experienced batting lineup. Even though Pujara and Ajinkya haven't contributed a lot for a while, but I would still go with the same top six and might pick up Ashwin and drop one of the seamers, and that is going to be tricky who they drop because Shardul gives you that balance of batting and bowling, and he always picks up wickets. Even in the first inning, he gave that breakthrough of picking such a huge wicket of Joe Root. Even in the second inning, he broke that partnership. So Shardul is a very handy uh, seamer to have, but for him to be doing the number three seamer's role, it's a question mark. So again, it's a tricky one. But if situation or the conditions are sunny and pitch is little brownish, then I'm tempted to play Ashwin.
Fair point. Wasim Jaffer says he will be not changing the top six. They're all experienced batters. We need to see how long this poor form of the three batters, especially Virat, Ajinkya, and Pujara, were averaging, in fact, now around 25 in the last 6 innings. We need to wait and watch. Now, KL Rahul has as much as sealed this place. So, there's any chance of Agarwal can sneak in instead of any other batters, or you will probably give one more chance to this three, rather two. Virat, you can't drop Virat, obviously.
No, definitely not. Obviously, Virat is not getting dropped at all. I mean, you might think of playing KL Rahul middle order. That is the only temptation. But why? Why you do that when you have got such a solid foundation? Rohit and KL has given an opening stand of 90-95 runs. Even in the second innings, they look very solid, and that is one of the areas which you want to strengthen is having a solid opening partnership. Having a 70, 80, or 100, if at all. That gives such a solid foundation. And when you know that your middle order is not firing, then the pair which is firing, why you need to change it? So I won't definitely change it. Mayank Agarwal, I feel, has to wait, unfortunately. But definitely, I feel the middle order needs to fire. Like we said in the last time, to win away from home, you need to keep scoring more than 350, 400 run, and that hasn't happened also in this test match, even though conditions were a little difficult. But I feel that is the way forward. The middle order needs to fire, and they need to fire now.
All right. If you have to say in this test match, it was not only rain, but the difference between the two teams was Joe Root, who stood as a wall in both the innings. Now, what is that chink in his armor which India needs to find as a bowler? What do you think is his weakness?
I think there is not a lot of weakness, to be honest. That is the reason why he's such a world class player. And on top of that, he scores so freely. You can't tie him down because he plays all around the ground, so effortlessly. And that is the difference, a guy like him. And he's been carrying the England batting for a while now. And with Ben Stokes not there, and the other players are not firing, it's such a burden on as he's the captain himself, and he has to take the responsibility of the entire England batting, and he's delivering. Even in India, when he got double hundred, England won. So much importance of him, fighting for England. But if India can get him out cheaply, then I feel this England team will crumble because the other guys, I don't see that much quality compared to Joe Root.
Very true. Like if you break into Joe Root, he's like the wall for England, and most importantly, scores quickly. Like if you have to see second innings, he was going for runs, not that he was playing a subdued innings. Anyways, we will discuss about the Lord's Test match probably in a couple of days' time. Wasim Jaffer, if you had to pick one moment where you feel India could have probably won this test match. I know the rain was one of the dampener, but if you think that one moment which India did not siege in this test match, is there anything you feel so?
I feel in the first inning, they lost those 3 or 4 wickets cheaply. With England getting all out for such a low score, uh, I think India needed to get a lead of at least 175 to close to 200. Then it wouldn't have mattered. If Joe Root has got 100, India would have still got very minimal time to score those runs. So I feel India lost a little bit of edge there because at one point it felt like India would concede a lead. It was for the innings of Ravindra Jadeja and the lower order that we could manage to get a substantial lead. But I think if those guys, if out of those 4 guys, if 2 guys have scored runs, I think India would have got a really decent lead, close to 150, 200 runs, and that would have been the difference. I feel in the Test match. Then the pressure of coming in and batting and saving the Test match would have been even more, and probably India wouldn't have needed to bat in the second innings also.
Well, that's wise words from none other than Wasim Jaffer. He felt India could have made the most of it when they bowled them out cheaply, but that's all history now. We have to see how India bounce back. To discuss about that, we'll have Wasim probably one day before the Lord's Test match. Thank you, Wasim. Bye. You have a great evening, and we'll look forward to catching up with you very soon.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully see you soon.